Welcome to the Simply Pediatrics Podcast, simplifying holistic healthcare for infants and children. We're so glad you're here. Join Jennifer Zethner, holistic pediatric nurse practitioner and holistic mom of 3 on a mission. Listen in as she shares the answers to the most asked questions from parents in her practice every day and offers parents practical strategies and actionable steps to support their child's health and well-being. Enjoy this insightful episode of the Simply Pediatrics Podcast and stay tuned for more information at the end of the podcast.
Hi, I'm Jennie Zethner. That's right, I'm here in my car. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find sitting in my car to be very peaceful. It happens to be one of the quietest places I have in my life. I have 3 children. I work full time. I'm busy like the rest of you, and I really would like to share information, and doing it from my car is most convenient. So I'm going to ask you to please forgive if there's any commotion behind me, any beeping, any dogs barking, ambulances, fire trucks, etc. I'll do the best I can to find quiet places. I assure you I will never be driving my vehicle when I speak to you. I will always be pulled over and parked. I am typically parked waiting for one of my children to come out of an event or something. So that is what I'm doing with my time here. And I look forward to sharing information with you. And again, forgive me for being a little unprofessional being here in my car, but I hope it works. And with that, let's get started.
Today's episode, Jaundice.
Hi and welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. We are talking about jaundice. Jaundice can be very serious, and there's many ways to prevent it. So today I'm just going to talk about ways that we can prevent jaundice and a little bit about what jaundice is really. All right. So jaundice is elevated bilirubin in a baby. And the bilirubin comes from essentially moms at delivery. We give our babies a rush of red blood cells as they're being born. Their bodies have to break down these red blood cells. And the way that they break down the red blood cells is optimally through urine and through feces, through bowel movements. If the bilirubin level rises too high and it can't be excreted adequately through the urine and the bowel movements, it will come out through the skin in a yellow tinge to the skin. And it starts up in the face. So a baby who has a yellow face is slightly jaundiced. And as it moves down to the chest and the abdomen and the legs, you become more and more jaundiced. So as it moves down the baby's body, that's how we can kind of judge just by looking at a baby how high their bilirubin levels are, if you would. The other way we can tell how jaundiced a baby is by their activity. A baby who has bilirubin levels that are rising is sleepy. They're skipping feedings, and we hear reports from mom and dad that, I can't really wake them. They're not waking. They're not nursing or taking a bottle adequately. We're seeing less urine, yet less wet diapers and less bowel movements. And it is typically within the first week of life that we're talking about, okay? So if you see any of these concerns with your baby, of course, contact your medical provider. Now, what can we do to avoid jaundice? So a few things that we can do. So I'm going to start with the breastfeeding moms, because it is more prevalent in our breastfed babies, although it is not overly concerning. Sometimes we can have jaundice in a breastfeeding baby and it's just completely not concerning at all. So for my mamas out there, because I know most of you are breastfeeding, what can we do from the get-go to prevent jaundice? So breastfeeding moms, I know after delivery, sometimes we don't have a great appetite. And often I'll hear from moms that oh my goodness, I don't even know if I even ate today, on their first day home with their baby. Okay. Food is medicine. You'll always hear me say this, right? Food is our medicine, especially for our breastfeeding mommies within the first week of life. So what kind of food is optimal while we're nursing and we're trying to bring in hearty, good breast milk? Warm, cooked proteins, vegetables, beans, whole foods, warm and cooked. And ideally, really, the optimal food for us as women when we're breastfeeding that first week is really soups and stews. It's easy to grab, it's easy to eat, it's warm and cooked, and it typically contains all the nourishment that we really need. So soups and stews are ideal, and in many cultures, that is the food that is fed to nursing moms from the get-go. So stock your home with these foods to eat, even if you're not feeling hungry, moms. eat. It is really important that you keep up your own reserves. It'll help you to bring in good breast milk. All right. And it helps those iron-rich foods, especially. Now, if you're a vegetarian, really focus on those iron-rich leafy greens, seeds, nuts, beans, seaweeds. If you'll do any bone broths, if you'll incorporate in eggs, fish, however you can to get the iron-rich meals, that's really what does help the babies to pass the urine and the bowel movements and to excrete out that bilirubin. So really important, moms, that we're eating well. All right. Other ways we can help our babies is keep them skin to skin. So up and against us with them naked with just a diaper on, up against our skin in indirect sunlight. The indirect sunlight, so sitting, under a window with sunshine coming through with your baby on you, does help their bodies to kind of process that elevated bilirubin level. And so that's an excellent way for us to actually bond with our babies, for us to rest, and for them to get some assistance with breaking down some of that bilirubin in the body. So for my formula feeding babies, making sure that they're getting enough of their formula and that you're seeing plenty of wet diapers and plenty of bowel movements. Babies with, formula-fed babies can also get jaundice. So it's not as easy to assist them with it, but to make sure that they're getting enough of their formula, that you're not letting them sleep for too long, right? Formula-fed babies may sleep a bit longer. So moms and dads can get a little bit more confused. They'll sleep for 3-4 hours. You just want to make sure they're not sleeping much longer than that. If they're very sleepy, again, that's a sign that we're having increased levels of bilirubin in the body. If they're sleeping longer than that, or they're refusing to take their bottle, you go to wake them and you put the bottle in their mouth and they're sleeping and they're coming around and skipping a feeding or two, then that's a sign that they need to go and be evaluated and potentially need to go into the hospital to go underneath lights to have that bilirubin level broken down. And that's what those Billy lights do. Most of the time, babies that have to end up in the hospital because of jaundice, they have a little mask on their face, their diaper on, and they're underneath, special lights. And very rarely they require IV fluids, and even more rarely they require a transfusion. So those are the things that we're trying to prevent. All right, that is it for today. Remember, parenting is a journey and you're doing an amazing job. Stay curious and keep learning, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining Jennie on the Simply Pediatrics Podcast. We hope that the valuable information she shared in this episode will inspire and empower you on your holistic parenting journey. If you would like to learn more about Jennie, her Simply Pediatrics practice, or anything that she spoke about today, please check the show notes that accompany this podcast and you'll find all the links and resources you need. You can also sign up for the Simply Pediatrics mailing list so that you receive Jennie's weekly newsletters packed with vital information and holistic parenting gems. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider giving this page a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any episodes. And don't forget to connect with us by sharing your thoughts in the comments section below. Follow Simply Pediatrics on any and all of the social media platforms. And if you're interested in an in-person or a virtual appointment with Jennie, please see the contact details in the show notes. Stay tuned for more episodes packed with a wealth of powerful information to support you on your holistic parenting path. See you next time.